The following is an ESG On Location video.
So here I am, it's NetApp's Insight in Berlin, just enough break in the weather for me to come outside and actually do this introduction. Let's get inside and see what this conference is all about. The event takes place at City Hall in Berlin, which is a sprawling convention center, but it's almost kind of a metaphor for the data and storage industry. It's big. It's labyrinthine. There are channels everywhere. We saw about the clouds outside, and there's even occasional bottlenecks. So whilst it may be a little grey outside, in here it's all blue and white. Blue for NetApp, of course, and white for the myriad types of clouds that there are these days. And that, of course, is a big part of the story here this week. But all the physical manifestation around me, all the detail that people are talking about, kind of goes slightly against the grain of the flexibility and dynamic nature of IT that both vendors, users and partners have to deal with. So let's investigate that architectural challenge and change just a little bit more. And here's some architecture. The Brandenburg Gate. Now, there can be no more somber, evocative, but ultimately appropriate place to talk about breaking down barriers, literally bringing down walls, talking about incorporating, allowing, acknowledging different approaches to doing things. And really, when it comes to it, that's what the data fabric from NetApp is also all about. It's about breaking down the barriers between different systems, different approaches to data management, and ultimately allowing a very heterogeneous, agnostic, and inclusive approach to data management. And this isn't just about one thing like scalability or protection, as you might think. It's about control, optimization, integration, and ultimately creating a dynamic and successful environment, very much as we have in modern day Berlin, and very much as anyone in IT would want for data management. To find out how NetApp is beginning to mold itself around these changes, I got a couple of minutes with Dave Hitz, the original founder of the company, to ask him actually why he's still here, and more importantly, what pleases him about the ways that NetApp is changing from being a company very much associated with the last 20 years of IT and data storage to being one that is associated with the contemporary world of IT and data storage.
I like doing new stuff. If NetApp was the same place for, it's been almost 25 years, and if I had the same job, I would definitely not be here. I mean, I started as a programmer, and then I ran engineering, and I learned a lot of things running all of engineering for 6 years. One of the things I learned is I don't want to run engineering anymore. What's interesting to me is the cloud is just changing everything. I mean, I think about, when I look at all the different trends, I mean, there's all these trends, and I mean, you just look at years of waves of new technology, mainframe and AS400 and Unix and Windows, and then Linux is gonna kill Windows, and Windows was supposed to kill Unix, and Unix, like none of them ever kill the previous one. You always end up adding them to the toolkit. And so my belief, when I think about how is cloud gonna play out, it's not gonna kill all the rest of those technologies, it's gonna join the toolkit, and the big challenge of cloud is managing the data. Like, how do I get the data from Unix to Windows? That's what we did in that era. We made a multi-protocol system, and it can be either Unix or Windows, and go either way. And our goal is to do the same thing again with the cloud. Help people. In fact, on the main stage here at Insight, what I'm demonstrating with Joe Caradonna is your data's sitting in an Amazon cloud in AltaVault format, and you want to reinstantiate it in an Azure cloud in clustered on tap format, because that's how you can use it. Let's just say you've hired some people that look at the data and they like Azure, and we can just, with a drag and drop user interface, get the data from Amazon to Azure. I mean, that's the user interface part of it. If it's a big chunk of data, terabytes, you can't, the bandwidth isn't there to move it. And so then we have solutions like NetApp Private Storage to sit next to the cloud and do failover from the one to the other, or manage your usage patterns. So let me give you my assessment of Insight. The data fabric message was sort of future, big, and not completely credible. because we were just talking about it. And when I look at the demos that happened here at Insight, when I look at the demos yesterday, we saw almost all of the stuff we talked about last year, we saw it as things you can buy now. And so, is it all of our business? Of course not. Is it even completely the final answer? No, not that either. But I feel really good about the direction we're heading and how we're helping customers.
We covered Insight in Las Vegas as well, so obviously a lot of the product detail was covered in the video and the reports and the blogs that we did after that. But I think the unifying aspect both of that event and this, and gosh, it's only a month or so ago that the world moves on, is that of change. There is still enormous change going on in the ecosystem. The Dell EMC thing is still going on, and it's very clear from this event, we heard from Dave Hitz, some of the changes that NetApp is making broadly to work and be relevant in the new contemporary IT space. I think it's very clear from the attendees here, from all the sessions and user experiences, conversations that I've seen and had here, that there is a very committed group of NetApp customers here. So we've got change in the marketplace, we've got change in what NetApp does do and is doing to address that. And the last part of the change, which is really important for NetApp to ensure its future success, is to make sure that the rest of the market, customers, prospects alike for this company, understand the depth, breadth, and relevance of those changes.